In the last lecture, you learned the steps to create a buyer persona for your business. We really covered what is a buyer persona, the advantages of using this exercise, and also I gave you the example of my buyer persona that I created for this course. Now what I want to do in this lecture is give you 8 more ways to gather buyer persona data, 8 ways that you can really find your audience online. And the purpose of this is if you're having a little bit of trouble answering these questions, this lecture is really going to help you out. We'll run through these 8 different ways. I'll give you real life examples for every single one of these so you can really know how to use these to gather buyer persona data. Now the first 4, in fact, you don't need to have a single customer in order to do this. And the second half here are if you do have customers and you do have an existing site and some online presence set up, these are really 4 techniques that you can use to mine the data that you already have. So we've got 4 and 4 here. So let's start off with Quora.com. This is a fantastic question answers website. You're going to be learning later on in the course how to market your business on this platform. But for now, we really want to look at it and figure out how to use it to find out who your buyer personas are and what problems they're really struggling with. So we can use it to find the most common questions in your niche. So all you have to do is come into Quora.com. They've got a search bar on the top here. You can just type in something like a keyword from your business or the topic that you're in. So marketing. What I can see here is if I come in, I can see some of the topics for this and some of the questions that include this keyword. So let's just come into the topic itself and look here. We've got some of the questions that people are really asking. You know, how do I generate website traffic with zero marketing budget? In what ways can you drive traffic to your website for free? So what is the best email you've ever received? So these are all questions that your potential customers are asking. They're struggling with these points. So you can really just go in here, and this is a fantastic resource, really, just seeing what really people are struggling with. People are just showing you, they're asking questions. So that is a great way to really see what people need help with. Now, another thing that you can do is look at some Facebook groups. So if we come into Facebook, it's very easy to find groups. You can just come in and say, type in something like your keyword once again, and really you can see all the search results here. You can even narrow this down if you want and look at groups only. And you can start to find groups of people who have really got together to discuss the particular topic that you have. So you can come into these groups and really review people's profiles and get a sense of who they really are. Now, one group that I'm in here is the Udemy Studio. This is a group on Facebook for instructors on Udemy. You can see there's 42,000 members in it. And everybody's got a profile here. So if I see people talking about a particular product or topic and they're struggling with it, you know, I can just come in and have a look at their profile a little bit more to understand, you know, where they are, where they're coming from, maybe who some of their friends are, some of the pages that they like. So there's really a huge amount of information that people just offer up to Facebook, and you can use that information to understand really who these people are and get a sense of, you know, all of their demographics, their age, what they look like, what they're struggling with. Very, very easy to do. It does take a little bit of work and digging through, but it's just a fantastic way to start putting those faces to the actual customers. Now, another thing that you can do is come into the online marketplaces and review sites. And this can be Amazon, Yelp, Udemy, the App Store, whatever it is. And you can really do the exact same thing. So for example, let's come into Amazon here. Let's say we were looking at this Amazon Echo. This is just one of the products here that I found. So you can come in here to the customer reviews and you can just click on anybody who submitted a review and start to see, you know, who these people really are. So you can see he's a 52-year-old male, enjoys things all Apple technology, etc. So you can get a sense, okay, if this 52-year-old guy is buying this product, well, maybe if I'm developing a very similar product, well, maybe, you know, he's going to be in the target market as well. So it's the same idea, just looking at the profiles and really having a look at it. Here's another example, just coming into Yelp.com. This is a fantastic review site for restaurants. And what I can do is just come into someone's profile again, have a look at really, where they're from, get a sense of their age, look at maybe some other places that they have reviewed. So maybe come down to somebody else here. So let's have a look at this girl. You can see like other places that she's reviewed. So she's staying in this type of hotel. She's a student. She's probably not got a huge amount of money. So that gives you an idea of who the clientele are for this restaurant, and if you want to compete with them, that's the type of people that you want to attract as well. Moving on then to the fourth way that you can gather buyer persona data is to use Typeform and just ask them simply, what is your biggest fear or frustration with topic X? Now we'll be looking at this in a lot more detail in the next lecture, or in the next section of the course, but I did want to bring it up because you can really ask anything you want in these online surveys. And so if you're struggling to get that information, you can just include questions on that as well. Now, looking at the 4 ways that you can really use and gather buyer persona data if you do have existing customers, well, the first one is Google Analytics. So what you need to do is come into the Google Analytics for your website if you've got it set up. Come down to Audience, come down to Demographics, Overview here inside. And you can see here 25 to 34 for the CompleteDigitalMarketingCourse.com. This is where the age group, the bulk of the people who visit the site. You can see that that is close to, the age range that I said here, 29, okay? And you can see predominantly male as well, over 70%. So that is tying in pretty well with my buyer persona. Now, as well as Google Analytics, you can also come into Facebook Analytics or Facebook Insights. They also have a section here, so you can come into the page, come into Insights, and once again you can see the demographics in terms of age and gender there as well. So you can use that data to help fill out your buyer persona, or if you're doing this for a company or a client, you can just request access to these things or just ask them to show you screenshots so you can fill this out for them. Now, another thing that you can do is the same thing essentially in YouTube Analytics. It'll be for every single video, but you'll get a very good sense of the demographics. And a final thing that you can do is just simply ask people, what are they trying to achieve? And you may have remembered that I did this in lecture 3 when I asked people to introduce themselves. I really gave them the option to introduce themselves here. And one of the questions was really, why are you taking this course? What do you want to achieve? And to be honest, that is sometimes some of the best insights that you can get to build up your buyer persona. And you may not have a course like I do in order to ask that, but you can ask, when you meet them in person, over the phone, in emails, even on your Facebook page, etc. So asking, funnily enough, can just be the easiest way to get the best information. So that is 8 ways that you can gather more information. If you're having trouble to really fill out this information, those are 8 ways that you can do it. I gave you all the examples, so you really should have no issue filling that out. So take a minute, fill that out. Remember that this can be just a starting point, so get anything down on paper. This can change over time. And once you've got that done, I'll see you in the next lecture where I'll really show you how to identify your unique selling proposition and how I did it for this course as well. So